All right, we are back. I promise this is the last time you're gonna see Total Archery Challenge in the title before we are actually there. But today, we're gonna go over me and Dylan's gear, like everything we're taking, bows, arrows, backpacks, all of that good stuff. And then now that we've actually been, we can kind of give you a few things that we didn't really think of last year that we're gonna be very sure to have this year. So, I will start off with the important thing, which is the bow. So we'll clear the table off and I'll just kind of walk you through what my setup is. All right, so this year I've got a completely different, well, not really, it's just a different bow, which obviously is the biggest thing that can change. But I now have a PSE Evo XF30. I got this literally about 2 days before bow season opened up here in Missouri. Long story, but I actually really like it. It was one of those, I didn't even really pick this bow out. If I'm being honest, what happened was it was a loaner bow because mine was getting worked on, and I ended up just keeping it. And I actually have really been a fan of it. 30-inch axle to axle. I actually don't know what my draw length is anymore because we just shortened it up like a couple weeks ago. I've just been playing with stuff, trying new things. So I think I'm at 28 now. I think. I could be wrong. 70 pounds, nothing super crazy. I do run a little kisser button, just a normal peep. I've been thinking about trying out like a Hamskea peep just to try it out, but I haven't. QAD, I don't even know which one this is. Ultrarest HDX, so whatever that is, it's just cable driven. I run wick stick stabilizers. I have 12 off the front and 8 off the back. I just have 3 ounces on each. I've actually been toying with the idea of starting to like play with weight and put more on the back than the front, but I haven't done that yet. There's a lot of things that might change before we actually leave for TAC, which is a terrible idea, but it's fine. The sight. I am that guy. I do have a dialed. I've had it for a little over a year now, and I have to admit, I wasn't completely happy in the beginning, but it has grown on me substantially. We're actually thinking about making, I did like an initial kind of review thing, and I'm thinking about now that I've had it for a while, coming back and just kind of going back over the sight, so you might keep an eye out for that. The grip was the only thing that I didn't love. We just took that off and I was shooting straight off the riser, and I do have like a very thin layer of lizard grips on there. I'm not sold on that. I might take that off. And I want to specify lizard grips, not Bomar. Yes, that's on purpose. I think that's all for the bow, so we'll set that over here. And then we can move on to the glass house. Nothing has changed since last year. Well, no, one very small thing. Marsupial gear, I think it's the best. They're just good, American made, hoo-ah, all that stuff. Rangefinder is a Bushnell something or other, prime something. It was on sale on a Black Friday thing and it does slope, so good enough for me. My binoculars are the old faithfuls. I don't know what these are. I bought them when I first got back into hunting. I think they were $20. Dylan almost vomits every time he looks through them, but my thing is, if I never use good glass, I'll never know I'm using bad glass. So at this point, I'm kind of just committed. Until these break, I'm probably not getting anything new, or until I see something on a sale. Then I probably will. But those are the binoculars. I always just keep, I just keep what's in there for hunting season. My wind stuff, no, you don't need wind checker, but I just don't take it out. Keep some Allen wrenches in there because that's just a good idea. And then in the front, we have my release, which is the same release as last year. It's the TrueFire Synapse, but this is new. I don't remember where I got it, but I want to say it was just like some dude on eBay that 3D prints stuff. Normally, the thumb button on this is very, very small, And I didn't hate that, but I just saw this and I wanted to try it and I really like it. So I would say it's probably similar to the size of the UV release. I'd say that's what they were going for. But yeah, I put that on there. I've really been liking that. I still use it as a thumb button. Every once in a while, I try to back it down and practice hinging, and then I give up and go back to punching it. So that is everything in there. And then the last thing would be the arrows and the backpack and all that good stuff. So the arrows, you might have seen, we just did a video on these. Victory Archery, RIP, XV, 350 spine, 1 stringer wraps, and 2.25 tack driver vanes. These, if you didn't watch the video, are obnoxiously light. They are like 337, they're under 320 grains. They haven't blown up yet, but at any point they could just explode when I shoot the bow. I like them, they're light. My sight tape is crazy, so that's why I use them. For my backpack, and this is where I'll start kind of getting into the, now that I've been, I know what you need. And I called this last year, and I was right. This is plenty. I would argue you don't even need this. If you just had like a little hip quiver and a fanny pack, you'd probably get by. But if you go to a Total Archery Challenge, you will see your fair share of guys with backpacks big enough to haul out an entire moose. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would bring that. It's completely unnecessary unless that's just the only backpack you have. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say if you have a backpack that costs as much as some people's cars, you probably have another backpack. So still don't get that. Don't know why people bring their ginormous backpacks. Keep a water bottle, and then just keep you some snacks in there. You're not out there for that long. Like if you're beginning to feel the jaws of death creep on you from starvation by the end of a tack course, well, then you need to go get in better shape.
Who's gonna carry the boats in the lawn?
So that's what I bring with me. Another few things that I would say you need to remember to bring is have a couple like spare inserts, field points, especially like if you're going for the whole weekend, which we are this year, I would say bring a fletching jig, bring some extra fletching. Like you never know, you might have an arrow that maybe you don't break it or lose it, but maybe your buddy shoots one of your fletchings off. Some of the targets are like small squirrels, and I know for me, my arrows will bury all the way down into the fletching and sometimes it screws one up. So just have like spare arrow components. That way if you have one that something goes wrong, but it's not destroyed, you can piece it back together and keep a bag full of arrows. Some things that aren't necessary. The giant backpack, you don't need that. You also don't need to show up in full like hunting kit, especially Sitka. I would just say Sitka is never necessary. And if that offends you, go ahead and comment, it's just because you can't afford it. I will read those and smile. That's just not even my opinion, that's just a fact. You just shouldn't show up looking like that. Just wear normal clothes. You don't need, it's specifically for the Oklahoma one. If you're going like to Big Sky, maybe it's a little different. You don't need to show up in full hunting garb and brand new crispy boots. It's fine, just wear shoes. You'll be okay. But that's all of my gear and all my unnecessary opinions. So now we'll go through what Dylan has, and there is some very, very exciting news. If there's anyone that has ever watched more than one of our videos about archery, your world is about to be shaken, because mine was. So let's see what Dylan is bringing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my turn for the portion of this video. So my bow setup is very similar to last year, minus one glaring difference that I think Isaac is extremely happy about, and apparently some people in the comments will probably be happy about. Hoyt Torex XT. I like this bow. I've been shooting it for like 2 seasons now. I haven't had many problems with it. It tunes well, shoots good. It's not the fastest on the market, but it's not the slowest on the market, so I like it. My sight is the Redline RL2, which I really like, and I plan on doing a video on in the future, just because I feel like these guys deserve a little bit of recognition for what they've made here. I think that price point and quality and everything that you get feature-wise is really nice. I've got the 10-inch Hoyt stabilizer that matches the buckskin color. Shooting a Scott Archery index release, same one I've been shooting for like 2 or 3 years now. And then the kind of elephant in the room, Isaac is extremely excited.
We did it!
I do have...
Woo! I was beginning to think you were actually stupid. You are, but you're a little less stupid now. So that's good. Sorry, I'm excited.
I do have a drop away rest now, and there really was no lead up. I went from a whisker biscuit to a Hamsky limb driven rest. So far I've had no problems with it. I like it. It seems solid. Only time will tell, but it was time for a change. I've shot the whisker biscuit forever, and I actually have some micro diameter arrows now that I won at the last Total Archery Challenge as a door prize that I would like to eventually shoot. So you can't do that in a whisker biscuit, in case you're wondering. Well, you could, but it's very ill-advised. I think that is it for my bow setup. I don't think I missed anything on there. So we'll go from that to my bag. Nothing super special here. I have my Bino case in here. It's just a Browning. It's not a super expensive one. It's the same one that I've had for a couple years now. I really want to upgrade to one of those marsupials. I just have not had the opportunity to yet. That's it. It's nothing special. It opens the wrong way.
Sorry, Brownie.
I'm sorry, it does. It just opens the wrong way. It would be better if this wasn't so rigid, but it's like when it's on your chest, it opens up and this like stays right where you need to be, which is a little unfortunate. But it's got a lot of storage on it, and for a Bino harness, it's pretty decent. These are my Vortex Crossfires. I've had them since I was in high school. Like them. They're definitely the best binoculars I've ever had. And honestly, I don't think they're that crazy expensive either. I think you'll notice that with a lot with me. For the price, it's about as good as you're gonna get. That's kind of my mantra. Now, expanding a little bit on what Isaac said with arrow components, you know, just bring you a little tackle box with some extra everything. You just never know what you might need to fix. I've got everything from sight tapes, vanes, field points, extra battery for your rangefinder, all sorts of different stuff. Speaking of rangefinder, there's mine. Also a Bushnell. It's either the exact same model Isaac has or one of the other 7 that they make that looks exactly like this. It does everything you could need it to do, and some things you don't need it to do. So let's see, what else do I got? I've got, golly, that was loud. I have my arrows, so as you can probably tell, they're not all done. I've had a few hiccups with my arrows this year. I tried a couple of new things. I tried some wraps. I tried some different vanes, some like shield cut that I thought looked really cool. Unfortunately, sometimes looks just don't matter because they looked awesome. However, on the way to the target, they kind of made this motion. I don't know. Something happened. I fault nothing of the vanes that I used. It was completely my fault in some way, shape, or form. I messed up the settings on the Bitzenberger or something. It's the only thing I can come up with. So, went and got some AAE hybrids put on there with no wrap, just 3 Fletch. This is a Victory V-Force Elite 350 spine. I think fully configured, they come in at like 390, I think, like 390 grains, 391 or something like that. So basically like a heavy target arrow or a light hunting arrow, kind of right in the middle there. Kind of good for anything. I could slap a 125 grain on the end of that and hunt with it all day. You do. It's true. It is the same arrow, but they were heavier when I had the other vanes on there, because they were actually like a lot heavier than those hybrids. But I'm gonna finish those up. Post a video of that for my tack arrow build shortly. Maybe even before this video comes out. Probably before this video comes out. This is just a little, honestly, this was a tube that a fly rod came in. Put a little tape on it to kind of get rid of the sharp edge. And that's why I'm going to carry my arrows in. It just kind of, basically just keeps you from stabbing through your bag at any point in time or anything like that. In this bottom compartment, I'm not going to open it, but I have a dry box and rain gear, because last year was an absolute mess. We got there, first target, it was starting to sprinkle a little bit, and by about the 7th, Isaac was wearing swimming goggles.
Oh dear Lord, I really should have got out one of my bad arrows.
That is not even a lie. It was horrendous. However, if you'd like to watch that, please go do. So last thing in the bag is kind of a situational thing. Don't know what all the other Total Archery challenges look like location-wise, but Oklahoma, like every trail there is around a lake. Even one of them is like on an island in the lake. So if you find yourself out there and you get perhaps behind a slower group, maybe a couple of young idiots that are out there just attempting to make a YouTube video.
Oh my, how did that work?
Obviously, everybody's trying to do that now, so it's very possible that you get behind somebody that's slinging a camera around, trying to shoot, probably missing and shooting more times so that it's on film. You could possibly just fish while you're out there. Now, anyways, that is in no way guaranteed to happen, but it could. So just giving you some ideas for that. Anyways, like I said, rain gear, I would recommend having some. Hopefully it is not needed. Hopefully it's a great weekend, no bad weather. But if there is bad weather, I don't know if you've seen the posts of Total Archery Challenge, but they shoot rain or shine. There's no, oh, it rained, can I get my money back? Like, you either shoot or you don't shoot. Like, so you may want to have your rain gear so you can get out there and shoot your courses, even if the weather is not ideal. Lastly, on the docket, I would recommend, and I know Isaac would also recommend, just take your bow to a professional before you take off. Just get everything once over, make sure everything's good. You know, even the little stuff, you know, if your peep sight, you know, the serving's starting to come off or your D-loop is starting to shred up, it's better to get that fixed before you leave and be good with it than get there and then need to figure something out on the fly if you have to. We experienced that last year with a couple of different things. I think Isaac had a D-loop put on like 7 times by 6 different people. That may be a bit of an exaggeration. He wanted John Dudley to do it, but unfortunately he was not there at the time. Anyways, also he wasn't shooting a PSE at that time, so it may not have happened. Anyways, last thing I'm going to talk about here is on your sights, it is definitely a good idea to have them check your third axis and make sure that that is correct. Especially for something like Total Archery Challenge, there's a lot of vertical change. You're shooting uphill, shooting downhill. If your third axis is not correct, downhill, uphill is going to greatly affect your left and right as you shoot at those distances. So I would recommend having a professional check it out. There are videos of people doing it and showing you how to do it online. If you're taking your bow to a professional anyways, you might as well just say, hey, can you check my axes, make sure that my sight's good to go? Just have them basically give you the clean bill of health before you leave. And with that being said, that's my setup, that's what I'm taking, and those are my kind of recommendations for getting prepared for TAC. And I think that Isaac may have some closing thoughts here, perhaps.
I do.
I don't know. Do you?
No, I'm good. You can outro it.
I'm outroing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for watching.